Presidential polls in India are scheduled to be held in July 2022. All political parties are gearing up for the crucial elections. From BJP, Party President JP Nadda and Home Minister Amit Shah held a 4-hour-long meeting with top BJP leaders on May 23rd. Meanwhile, Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao, who is trying to stitch a non-BJP, non-Congress alliance, has reached out to opposition leaders. Last month, he met his Delhi and Maharashtra counterparts Arvind Kejriwal and Uddhav Thackeray, while also reaching out to Akhilesh Yadav. As BJP and Congress brainstorm for the polls, here's a look at the presidential election process. An eligible candidate for the post of president must be a citizen of India and must be above 35 years of age. The candidate also must not hold any office of profit, and the candidate must have signatures of at least 50 proposers and 50 seconders. The proposers and seconders could be anyone from the total number of MPs and MLAs. Presidential polls in India are different than general elections. While the general elections are called direct elections since people choose their own leaders, presidential polls are called indirect elections as only MPs and MLAs are allowed to vote in the presidential elections. The president in India is the head of state and the first citizen of the country. The president is elected by the members of parliament and members of legislative assemblies in all the states and union territories for a term of 5 years. However, nominated MPs are not allowed to vote in the presidential elections. The next difference between presidential polls and general elections is that the weightage of each vote is different. While the value of every vote in the general elections or assembly elections is 1, the same is not the case with presidential polls. The value of a vote by an MP from Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha is fixed at 708, but the value of an MLA's vote differs from state to state. The vote value of an MLA is calculated after dividing the population figure of a state by the number of MLAs in the state's legislative assembly. The outcome achieved is further divided by 1000. So the vote value of an MLA from Uttar Pradesh is 208, whereas an MLA from Arunachal Pradesh carries a vote value of just 8. Presidential polls are conducted through secret paper ballots. Members of parliament are given green-colored paper ballots, while members of legislative assembly get pink-colored paper ballots. The paper ballots will have names of all the candidates for the post of president, and the voters will indicate their preference with a special pen. The electors can also choose their second and third preference for the president. The counting of votes for presidential polls takes place usually 3 days after polling. After the counting, the Election Commission of India will declare the winner. More than 4,800 MPs and MLAs in total are expected to vote in the presidential elections in July 2022.